Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're with the legend himself. Now, you've seen him all over the world. I mean, he's arguably, he's been censored. You know, if he wasn't censored, I think Sneako would literally be as big as Mr. Beast. I'm not just saying that. I think Sneako would be arguably the biggest guy out there, but he's still one of the biggest. And Sneako, it's an honor and a privilege for coming on Primetime with Alex Stein. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Alex Stein.
Okay, well, so you're like, oh.
I'm glad to be here. I am.
Are you glad?
Yeah, I am.
Because you were nervous. You're like, what is Alex going to do? I'm not going to do anything, but I am going to do something racist to start out with.
Let's go. Something racist. Can I film it?
Yeah, you can film this.
Okay,
no,
great.
and we'll see how racist it is, but I want you to open that. And so we got next door, there's a delicious bakery, and this thing right there, I want you to try it. I want you to tell me what you think. There's nothing done to it. It's right from there. It's not, there's no spit in, there's no gimmick like that.
Oh, is it going to be pork? Is it going to be ham?
No, it's not going to be that. I swear it's not that. I'm actually a vegetarian. Okay, so what that is I don't want to even tell you what it is. Would you try that real quick? It's not dangerous, I swear. Just take like a little nip. I promise you. I know you just met me. It's just right there.
Is this a pork bakery? What is this?
No, it's no pork. It's nothing like that. But you don't know what that's called, do you?
I have no idea what this is called.
I didn't know what it's called either.
It looks like a butthole.
I had no idea what it's called either. Take a bite and tell me if you like it.
You take a bite first.
Okay, I'll take a bite first. Yeah. So this is the whole podcast is us eating delicious. I promise, there's nothing wrong with it. Just tell me if you like it or not.
Oh, give me a hint.
Well, it kind of has a racist name.
Okay. Can you tell me like?
Is this racist? We just got it. We're going to show it right now. We're going to edit it in. That is called monkey bread. And we were down there and we were thinking,
monkey bread. Okay.
Is that racist to give you monkey bread?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
We did it! Okay, now. Dude, that was a joke. It's
actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. No, that's legit. I actually want to have a bite too. Okay, so real quick, I want to get into my favorite thing. I watched.
Thank you. Actually, it's good.
It's really good.
I kind of want more.
Yeah, I have more. No, it's right. It's from next door. Dude, it was like $14 for that small thing. It better be good. So, Sneako, your clips, though, even though they all go viral, the Rabbi Shmuley stuff is my favorite because this Rabbi Shmuley, and you and I are on the same wavelength. I'm a Michael Jackson truther. Michael Jackson never molested any kids. He was around kids his whole life. And Wade Robinson and James Safechuck are the biggest liars in the world. Wade Robinson testified on Michael Jackson's behalf twice in front of California's top state prosecutor and said he was never molested. And then conveniently after when he died, he got molested. So I know that Michael Jackson didn't touch any kids. You're on the same wavelength as that. But Rabbi Shmuley was his rabbi, so I thought this Rabbi Shmuley guy was kind of cool. The guy is a lunatic. What does he sell? Dildos?
He sells dildos with his daughter. And when I debated him, he offered me a family discount because he doesn't really hide behind it. He's open about it. Last night when I was streaming, I saw a clip of him rubbing his beard up against like 2 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds. Like literally, the kid's like, no, don't do this. He grabs the kid by the face and rubbing his beard on them.
And I think he's written books about sex. Like he's written books like how to have sex.
And this is the guy that was pushing the narrative that Michael Jackson was a deplorable, immoral person. And then you look at
I thought he was his attorney. I thought he was pro Michael Jackson.
He was. So it wasn't his rabbi because Michael Jackson was a Jehovah's Witness, but he was his spiritual guide and leader while he was alive, whatever that means. And he was taking audio recordings and he wrote a book about Michael Jackson that was conveniently released right after he died. And then he did a press tour on all major news stations saying that we should revise the legacy of Michael Jackson. So he was the one pushing the narrative that Michael Jackson was a pedophile. But when you look at what he's doing now and what he does today, this person who's trying to talk about morality, the hypocrisy is all over his work and what he sells.
No, you're exactly right too. And Rabbi Shmuley, that's why I thought at first he was kind of cool. I was like, oh, he's Michael Jackson's attorney. Like that was the first thing I ever knew about him before like Alex Jones, your interaction, all of his interactions going after Candace.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who he was, but he's just such a weird guy. And then actually I have Jewish friends obviously. And they're like, yeah, Rabbi Shmuley's so crazy. He's like in his bathing suit talking about how he's going to, there's a bomb siren, so he has to run to the basement, but he happens to be sitting at the pool.
It's too bad because people try to call me racist and anti-Semite, whatever. I have so many Jewish friends. I just came from my Jewish barbershop. All Jews, one guy was wrapping his arm up with tefillin. And I like the Torah of Judaism. I know that's it's kind of weird because on X now, some people call that a controversial take. Like, they'll get angry. But I do. I love Jews. And I told Rabbi Shmuley that you are making people more anti-Semitic than anything that you accuse of.
And that's a fact.
Like, he's doing the worst PR I've ever seen. You see, after he debated Candace Owens, he paid himself up with money and blood and he put on a long nose, and he said, he wrote in blood on his face, Jewish blood, and it's like, it's just, he's becoming a caricature of what anti-Semitic people think Jews are. And that's not a representation at all. So I told him, like, you're doing more damage than anything you're trying to fight.
And that clip is so good. And you have your security guard there, and he's like trying to guard your security guard. We're going to edit that in, but I mean, it's just some really classic.
Right, he tries to tell my security guard, he's like, you're a nice black man. How are you with this white supremacist nuts?
As a fine African-American gentleman, what are you doing with a racist anti-Semite like
this? A racist.
What would you be doing with a guy that would take black
You're a cartoonist representative. And he doesn't know, also, it doesn't work because I'm part black. One, my dad's from Haiti, but we're finding out that my grandfather probably moved to Haiti because he was, we think that his father was Jewish.
Wow. So you look at everybody, and that's the thing. It's funny because my last name's Stein, so my grandfather was Jewish, but he didn't raise my dad. So he got my grandmother pregnant and then started another family. So I was actually raised Christian, but everybody thinks, oh,
so I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, so it's like, but honestly, I don't even care because my last name's Stein, so I can't say that I'm not Jewish, but I'm actually not a Jew.
Well, if your mom is not Jewish, it's not.
So I'm technically not. But like when it comes to this religion stuff, it's just so fucking stupid that we fight about it and not just accept that there's going to be other people with other religions, right? I mean, what do you think? Like, I know that stupid cringe bumper sticker, what does it say?
Coexist.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking stupid, but isn't that kind of right, though, at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I am part of that problem. I did engage in a lot of religious debates and stuff, but I came to realize, like, in the past year that so people aren't really going to change their mind. People have their own different faiths, and that's what I love about New York. Like, just on the train now coming here, there was a rapper who was falling asleep. I didn't know he was a rapper. He was wearing a Pele Pele jacket. He wakes up, he's like, yo, you Sneako? Like, word. Yo, I'm trying to, like, make it be. Like, my name Ice. He followed me on a gram. He's like, showing me his gram. There's everybody here. He came from the Jewish barber, Ice Money on the train. I'm here with Alex Stein. Like,
Pimp on a blimp, dude. But this is a multicultural melting pot.
And see, we could all come together and share monkey bread. If every race comes and joins at the table and has a piece of monkey bread, that's how you destroy racism. That's how you destroy religious differences. We accept who we are, that we're all different. Seriously, monkey bread? My bad.
No worries.
And we have a great meal together.
We literally break bread. 9/11. People get mad. They say you blame it on Israel. They say Israel, that some app got all these text messages before not to going to work that day, and that there's this thing called the B thing of these Israeli art students that live on the 93rd floor. Is any of that true?
I mean, I was alive. I was in New Haven, Connecticut at the time, close by, but not that close. There's a lot of things that don't really add up. You know, some people dancing on vans and stuff.
That was weird. And they already had a camcorder out filming it. A lot of that was weird. And then, when you talk about 9/11, a terrible thing, horrible tragedy in this city, they said that they had these weapons of mass destruction, and they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. No. And anybody that's been paying attention, the media was able to brainwash us into hating Muslim people. Like, as much as the media said, oh, we hate it when a guy goes to the 7-Eleven and beats up it happens to be Indian guy, but they think he's Muslim. Every time they talked about it, they actually wanted us to do it, in my opinion. Like they kind of planted that seed in an actual, sicko's mind. So what do you think about that? They lied about the weapons of mass destruction?
There was an actual debate that I remember having, that you bring this up now. When I was in elementary school, we had debates in history class, like, should they be allowed to build mosques in New York City? And then we'd have, we go back and forth, it'd be a debate, and we would all do homework about this. We'd weigh the pros and cons, the morality of building a mosque in New York City post 9/11.
And that was near the tragedy, right? That was the big debate.
Yeah, of how close it could be and all this. And so if you talk to any brown person, like now brown people, Iranians, they're kind of white now.
Yeah.
Back in the beginning of when 9/11 first happened, they were terrorists, brown, all this sand people. But now, the Moroccans, now they're back to even Italians were kind of in the mix.
They went through TSA before TSA. You know what I mean? They kind of thought Italians were.
Yeah, they were iffy, and now they're back white because the Muslim hate has died down quite a bit. But yeah, look, the war in Iraq was a big sham, and we should definitely condemn every politician who supported it.
And because you talk about these things, I talk about these things, people say, oh, Alex, you're controversial. But, dude, you would be bigger if you didn't talk about these things. And if you were kind of just a degenerate, why don't you do that? Why don't you just play steak or whatever? And why do you actually try to make vlogs where people think about stuff and question the reality in which they live in?
That's I don't think I would be big if I was doing the stupid degenerate stuff.
You don't think so? I feel like because you're connected with all the biggest guys.
I could do it, but it would be false. Like the people who do it, it's real for them. Yeah. So I think the content you do, if you're streaming all the time, you're doing podcasts as much as your real personality shows. People are like, oh, you're like, are you different on and off camera? But the character is really you.
Yeah, it's a caricature. It is you, but it's sometimes you have to amp it up a little, I think, for the camera.
You got to put it on perform.
But it is you.
But it's not false.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If I was doing that, it would be false because I'm thinking about who was dancing on the van in Jersey City while playing, clicking fruit on steak.com. I wouldn't be able to do that authentically and people would see through it. And then I'd read that one chatter who wants to raise the level of IQ of the conversation, and then I'd pay attention to him. So the reason I do, and I think that I'm successful at what I do is because it's real for me. So yeah, I've been banned everywhere. Even the Ice Money, who was just on the train, like, yo, follow me on the gram. I'm like, I'm banned on Instagram. Yo, follow me on you on Twitch. Like, I was banned for off-platform behavior on Twitch.
Yeah.
I have to have this conversation 37 times every hour.
And it's such bullshit because I even tried to look up because I was just like I know it's Sneako, but I was literally looking up for your most controversial takes. I couldn't really find any. I'm dead serious. Like some you with Rabbi Shmuley, like seriously, that's the worst thing you said. I mean, you're not that.
I think I did pretty well there because those were the scenarios where if you say something wrong in that like heated debate with Rabbi Shmuley, it's like a sentence forever. No, yeah. it's not just perma ban, but like that's the clip that they're going to use, like the quote, like he hates this. Like
he denied the Holocaust.
Exactly. That's the deny the Holocaust moment.
It's like Nick when he said the cookie joke. He got canceled for the cookie joke. Did you ever see that? That was like the original joke that he got canceled for. He said like, if you have, can you bake 6 million cookies with one? Yada yada yada. And so say what you will about Nick, I feel like he gets, persecuted a lot, but you can't even touch Nick. Like I can't touch him. I had him on my podcast years ago and it cost me a lot just having him on my podcast. I mean, I'm sure the same's with you. And I like Nick. Like I don't hate Nick. I think Nick's a smart guy, but some people you associate with, and it's weird because I consider myself controversial, but I'm I'm a lightweight compared to
What do you think about Tucker Carlson? I see you have his hat on.
Tucker's my man, my biological stepfather. He's helped me out so much. So I'm like indebted to Tucker. And now you see how outspoken he is?
Yeah.
A little bit with peers, I think he's going after it.
He said like genocide is bad, which is like for legacy media is kind of controversial, but that should be accepted.
I agree, but dude, it's hard to say that because you piss off the wrong people, and those people are very powerful, so it's hard to talk about an honest conversation when it comes to Israel-Palestine. But I want to get into that. But before, I'm friends with her. I don't know why she's getting so much hate. Ashley St. Clair, just because she had Elon's baby, good for her. I think it's good for her. She let him nut in her and have a baby. Who gives a damn?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. I made a video about this yesterday because I was saying about this conversation, if you're not canceled yet and you talk for a living, you're either a bot or a woman. Mm-hmm. And she replied saying, female privilege doesn't spare all of us. And then a year later, she gets nutted in by the richest guy in the world and that doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. It's like the irony that she's saying, I don't have female privilege and is probably the most privileged woman in the world next to Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Well, she's not going to get that much money, but
not that much, but just like she hit the lottery in a second. Like we can't do that.
No, I cannot. I mean, I could knock up some like really nasty fat girl that happens to be the heir to the DuPont throne, or you know what I mean? Like there is, but it's not as easy. But I'm saying there are some guys that date nasty girls.
Do you know any? I don't know any.
I kind of know one guy I went to high school with. He married this girl that was ugly, and her dad was so rich, and I was always and now he has a beautiful family, kids with her. I mean, I'm sure they are in love.
I think he loves her.
I think he does too, but he just looks. I don't know. There's a discrepancy in their standards of beauty.
But that's the difference. See, like the only guy he's not getting her money. He's getting her dad's money.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
not really like Ashley's getting.
You're right. Hey,
Elon's
you're right.
money.
You're right. She's
Ashley's getting Elon's money. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife is getting Jeff's money. There's no example of like that transactional relationship ever happening. I also thought it was funny. Did you see? You see how the liberals talk about Bianca, Ye's wife? Mm-hmm. Like a week ago, they were saying she's a sex slave, she's abused, she's like, oh my God, they need to save her. They're like trying to find her family. Yeah. And then a week later, they find out about a divorce, which is fake. And they say that there's no prenup in the marriage. And then all the same liberals who were talking about how she's abused sex slave are now parading her around like a queen. You go, queen, get that money. Get that money. They're doing sassy Cardi B gifs. It's all, so okay, was it really about the abuse or did you just not like Ye? Because if you're saying that Bianca's just married to Ye to take his money, then he's being abused.
Exactly right.
So you don't give a fuck about abuse at all.
No, but you know the media doesn't care about abuse. So, I mean, you know that. We live in a world where it's like all this virtue signaling and fakeness. So I don't know. It's hard to tell what's real. But so you're saying the divorce? I thought the divorce was still real. That was breaking news. I thought the divorce.
No, it's fake. Fake news. Just like people don't like Ye, so they just put out fake news and then it goes viral and then you see, no, it's completely fake.
And I like Ye. I mean, I think his music's incredible. But what, you know, you get on the nitrous oxide, that does make you. Have you ever done nitrous oxide?
I don't think. I mean, maybe when I got my wisdom teeth out. Was that nitrous?
That's the same stuff. But you've never been to like a festival. Like I was at a Widespread Panic concert years ago, and you do like a balloon, and when you take that stuff,
you got like Coachella or something.
No, it was called Hangout Music Festival in Orange Beach, Alabama, and you take a balloon, and it's full of nitrous. You go, it was just like wonk wonk wonk, and you feel.
Yeah. What do you feel like?
Like you're floating.
Yeah.
Like you're
smiling right now.
Yeah, because it feels good. Don't do it. Do not do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it relieves anxiety too. So it's this weird thing where it gives you this physical high, and it also takes away your anxiety temporarily. It comes back. But
how long? Like 20 minutes?
I only did it that one time, but I just know that like I was really chilled out that night. But I just know that it helps because I've had it done for my teeth too. So that's what they say. It's like it also has mental health benefits. So it's like.
Have you noticed like less brain cells since then?
I've ruined my brain. I think I have a little bit. Like I'm a lot older than you. And my girlfriend is over there, a beautiful prepaid wireless wheel ever. But dude, I forget shit all the time. Like simple stuff. Yeah, because I was like looking at the address here. It's like 733 39th, and I come to be like 733 35th. And I was just looking at it. You know what I mean? Just going from one app to the other.
Actually, that happened to me too when I was on the way here. I was like, oh, it's on 42nd, and I'm walking the wrong way, and I look at my phone. Fuck. That's why I was 3 minutes late.
See, it's simple stuff like that.
And I saw it right before. I have to look at my phone like every 6 minutes, and stupid stuff. I don't know what that. I mean, I did drugs a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, so now,
nitrous.
What is your take on drugs? Like, I think it's bad with all the kids on fentanyl, but like, what do you? Yeah. I mean, that's bad. But like,
Happy Black History Month, George Floyd.
He did die. I just want to say it. I mean, Sneako just admitted he did die of a drug overdose.
Have you noticed that this is the weakest Black History Month in history? Like, I'm just.
Why is it? Why is it such a white Black History Month? I mean,
because of George Floyd. I think that George Floyd was shoved down our throats so much in the past 5 years. The statues everywhere, the murals, the protests, and everyone realized, oh, he was on fent.
So you're telling me
this was a sham, and so everyone's just kind of like
tainted.
I think he tanked Black History Month. It's George Floyd's fault. One counterfeit $20 bill ruined a month of Rosa Parks.
Do you think if Trump pardoned Derek Chauvin, that what do you think? Do you think that's ever a possibility?
I hope he does. I mean, Jordan Neely got pardoned. He's been on the train. He's around New York. He's like, I see him on the train reading a book. You know, he's back into society.
What's more important, Tiger King to get pardoned or Derek Chauvin?
Derek Chauvin, Derek Chauvin.
You don't like the Tiger King?
I don't know anything about it.
What do you watch?
I think that's a white people thing. I don't know.
It was on Netflix. Netflix is terrible. But like, what does Sneako watch? Like, what content do you consume?
You know, I've been watching a lot of like old New York movies. I've been back into like when I was younger, I got into film because of The Godfather, the De Niro's, Scorsese, Pacino, that whole thing. I've been rewatching a lot of Scorsese, and David Lynch has passed away, so I've been rewatching. David Lynch. Just saw Blue Velvet again, Mulholland Drive again. I love him. A lot of people don't know who he is. Yeah. You know, it was also funny. I made a video like commemorating David Lynch after he died, and it was one of the most viral Project X vlogs that I posted because the libtards quote tweeted it and were really angry that I like him.
What did they say? They're like,
they said like, this is AI. Like David Lynch would hate you. He would punch you. Like they thought that he would hate because I think he said one thing nice about transgenders one time, and so they kind of embrace him as a hero because they think Twin Peaks was celebrating transgenderism. So they hate that I like him, and they insisted that I didn't.
I didn't realize Twin Peaks was like this movie for transgender.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know that.
That was the first time I heard that.
Well, what do you think about that? I was just at this event called DebateCon, and I was just asking this. I didn't even know them before this thing, honestly. This person called Brianna Wu, and I tried to ask them. They're like kind of big on Twitter, not that big.
Sounds familiar.
But yeah, like you've seen their tweets. They kind of sound familiar, but it's like this white girl, no Asian, and I say
Brianna
girl.
Wu?
When I say girl, it's a 6 foot tall dude, but goes by Brianna Wu. Sometimes you say girl because you think Brianna's such a feminine name.
Okay.
But I tried to ask them. They said that they hadn't taken drugs in 20 years. He said he hadn't taken drugs in 20 years, and I was going to ask him if, when he got his penis cut off, if they gave him painkillers, and does he consider that a drug? And as soon as I started the question, before I started the question,
security?
Who do you have the question for? Actually, security didn't kick me out. They just kind of stopped it. Nice. I was like, my question is for the transgender. And then the tranny's like, oh, you can't do that. And I called them a tranny. And I'm like, should I even post this clip? Because like they're trying to act like.
Would you say tranny or transgender?
I said transgender, then I said tranny. I said both.
Okay.
I did say tranny. I didn't say it at first. At first I said transgender, and then they got mad. Then I called them a tranny. Yeah. But my point is, it's like I'm kind of in this conundrum where they've already been tweeting, oh, I'm such a victim. I got called a tranny. Why is tranny bad? I mean, what the hell? I mean, I know that's a slur, but is it really a slur?
It's not a slur. It's the short version of transgender. It's just abbreviated. Same thing, I think Schultz made that joke, like grandmother, granny, you know? It's just colloquial. It's like a loving term.
Well, we need to post it. What do you think, though? Like, are you so deep in the world that you think it's like some sort of satanic conspiracy, like Baphomet, like they want to turn all the kids into?
You know what's funny? I just did a documentary. This guy Louis Theroux. I don't know who he is.
Louis the best. You did a documentary, Louis Theroux.
He came to my apartment 2 weeks ago.
Dude, BBC. He's one of the best documentarians out.
I didn't know much about him.
You had no idea who Louis Theroux is?
I really didn't know.
And how long did you film with him?
Like 4 hours.
You know, he did a crazy documentary.
I know. I found out afterwards.
And I knew about Louis Theroux before that. Dude, he's one of the funniest guys.
He came into my room in my apartment and he's like, can I see, do you have a Quran in your room? And I like opened the drawer, there's a Quran. He's like, it doesn't seem that used. You know, it was funny. And then we went around, why did I bring him up? Oh, right. There were magazines. We went into the deli. He wanted to get like a city content. So we walked out and then people are coming up and I'm debating people. And we're standing in front of a store and there's all these magazines and there's like the one eye symbolism and like all the magazines. Like, you know what? I don't want to do
I know exactly. I
the screenshot. Yeah.
Oh, and shit. Yeah, you can.
Right. Because now they're going to say you're part of it. So that's why I purposely don't do it. Anyway, every celebrity has a picture of them doing one eye symbolism.
Everybody from every photo shoot on whatever magazine. It's so easy to find it. You can find one of every celebrity.
And his argument was like, well, how many magazine covers would there be? I'm like, okay, it's always on a magazine cover specifically too. They want a celebrity to show you that they're pledging allegiance to, in Islam we say the Dajjal, the Antichrist. It's the same thing in Christianity, it's the Antichrist. That's what the Antichrist is going to look like. He's going to be a deformed, tall, one-eyed thing. And so they're saying, this is who we pledge allegiance to. So that is part of a greater satanic conspiracy. Do I think all the celebrities know? No, I don't. I think they're getting paid. Some of them might know, some of them don't. Some of them do witchcraft. Who cares? They do the photo shoot. They want to make money. But yeah, there is something bigger going on, and the end times are coming.
You do think so? You do think the rapture? Are you one of these guys? And I know.
It's of course.
I do think we're towards the end, and I do believe in a creator. Like the idea that they lie to us and tell us that we evolved from literal pond scum, then abiogenesis, 2 cells split, and then all of a sudden a monkey became Sneako. Like
we did not come from this bread.
No, this is not our.
That's not our ancestors.
So it's just provably false. Like, which God is right? I mean, I kind of have, you can argue about that. There's a lot of theological debates, but I think we all agree that somebody had to press play on this, whatever this is. Somebody had to put it in motion.
It was a creator. It was an almighty creator. But I don't know when the end times are going to come.
But you do think, you're saying this.
Absolutely.
You're not saying this trolling kind of like you actually think.
That's something that all the Abrahamic faiths agree on. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what, I mean, if you want to get into the greater conversation, that's what Israel-Palestine's all about. They wanted to get Al-Aqsa Mosque.
They have to build the mosque there, the third temple, in order for Jesus to come back.
Exactly. You know about the red heifers. And
yes.
So that's what it's really about. I mean.
Do they need Palestine to build that third temple?
Yeah, that's why they want to turn Gaza into a Trump casino. They want to have that land so that they can,
It'd be a good casino. But, you know, when we talk about Israel-Palestine, it's hard because for me, if I say that I don't like little children dying, that they could call that anti-Semitic almost. You know what I mean? Like literally saying that I don't want children to be bombed and used as shields. And listen, I think you and I would both agree that Hamas is not great. Even though I saw Jackson Hinkle having an interview with him, I need to watch that. But I'm just saying, like, overall, I think you could say that Hamas is not great, but when you see clips like you're talking about where they're digging up Muslim people's grave to build a theme park, have you seen that picture?
Yeah.
It's like, how do I defend that? It's hard to defend that.
Right,
I'm saying in
that's
Palestine,
real. They're big.
Yes, there's dude. Look, I'll show you right now. Yes, there's a picture of a woman, a Muslim woman, crying over her son's grave because they're building
a theme park.
But when I say theme park, it's like a biblical, it's like a religious theme park.
I believe you. I don't need.
But I'll pull it up. So what do you think about that?
That's very unfortunate.
Well, how do we solve that problem?
The outrage is growing faster than it's ever grown. I mean, there was a video going viral of Jerry Seinfeld next to a fan, and the fan goes, "Free Palestine," and Jerry Seinfeld's like, "I don't care about Palestine." He walks away, and there's like, my whole timeline is this fucking genocidal, pedophile piece of shit. All he said was like, "I don't care." Like, yeah, he's a New York Jew. Like, what did you think he was gonna have like some strong? Of course he...
Even though I don't believe Snopes, that's Snopes saying, and I don't know if you want to read it, but it's just a sad...
According to news reports, Israeli authorities plan to build a theme park in the area.
And they're like digging up that woman's son's grave. So it's just stuff like that. I mean, it's just sad.
I mean, look, the narrative, like the Piers argument is keep saying you have to condemn Hamas, you have to condemn Hamas. It's like if you are getting bombed and attacked for years and years and years, do you not think that some people are going to fight back or try to defend themselves? Did you think that they were just going to like have their graves dug and redug to build theme parks and nobody was going to retaliate? They found a name, Hamas, and so now it's like Hamas, like it sounds terrorist-y, just like ISIS, just like Al-Qaeda.
Even though we created ISIS, we created the Mujahideen.
We funded all, yes.
To fight with Russia in a Cold War, that we're having a proxy war, similar to how we're having a proxy war against Russia now. So, and then we use those weapons against us. So we created ISIS, we created Al-Qaeda, we created this enemy.
And then we call them terrorists. It's like, wait, why are we not the terrorists for going there and bombing them? Like terrorists for so many Americans is just a brown person with a scarf speaking a language they don't understand. But if you look up the definition of terror, if it's killing innocent people for the sake of political motives, then the United States has done that consistently throughout its existence.
We're the biggest terrorists. They lied about weapons of mass destruction. We killed millions of people.
And we just move on. and we just forget, hey, next thing, COVID now.
Like, and listen, the Holocaust is terrible. We always hear about 6 million, and it's just so bad, or say what you want about it, and it is horrible. But now with this Ukraine war, Russia's lost 1 million, and on top of that, Ukraine's lost 100,000. So 1 million people just died, and we're about to end it. And nobody's going to even bat an eyelash. Nobody's going to give a damn that 1 million people literally just died. So it is kind of weird.
There's only one Holocaust. Like Dana White, for example, he had to bring out a script and say like Bryce Mitchell denied the Holocaust. It was exactly 6 million, and it's like there's only one Holocaust where you have to do that statement for, where a CEO has to address the press and address the employees, and it's only this one. It's like, well, okay, the most well-documented genocide of all time is happening right now, and I don't see any scripts from any CEOs.
No, we don't see anybody talking about the death that's happening currently or the slavery. And we have these issues. Like, I go on college campuses, like you do the 1-minute debates, and I was just at LSU, and like they kept bringing up slavery, like I'm responsible. And I asked them, I'm like, do you know any of your ancestors that were slaves? They're like, no. So, I mean, why do they preach this victimhood mentality, like to blame someone?
Because it's fun. I mean, like if you're a victim, then nothing's your fault. And so if you're mediocre in life, you get to blame the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And so like as long as you go to a protest and you're an activist, you're progressing in life. You're fighting against the man. You don't actually have to succeed or start a family or create a business or level up in life because there's someone else that's controlling you. There's a systematic oppression. It's nice to believe that.
Well, is that the same? I know, but is that the same? And this is why I kind of go after the people that do blame everything on Israel and say like, oh, there's a Jewish conspiracy.
Sure. That's the same thing.
Isn't that victimhood?
It's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, there's like the people complain about. I was just thinking about this on the train. Like, there's always complaining about white replacement and white genocide, and they blame everyone. But it's like, if white people were conquering for so long, then maybe like look at yourselves and be like, okay, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like if you were in charge, the United Kingdom was the biggest, they colonized the entire world, and now you're like, it's black music. Like, if that's really what's holding you back, I think the problem is bigger. Yeah. And it's the same victim mentality, but they don't seem to realize it. Like they're not actually providing solutions.
Yeah, but what are the solutions? Like you're talking about the rapture. When you're talking like that, I think.
Well, that's like you don't know when it's going to come. So
but I'm saying. Well, to my point is like, is there solutions to this? I mean, isn't this problem just so
inevitable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying just with society, the fact that kids are basically using OnlyFans, getting into porn, the degeneracy of the world. Like, can you and I, and not that it's our responsibility,
do anything?
Could we make it moral? Doubt it.
I mean, we just have to do what's right. Like, just do what's right regardless. Continue to do what you should do. And that's it, man. Like, what do,
stay positive. We got to stay positive.
Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
I know, but
what else is there to do?
You've had a lot of success at a young age, so for you, I'm not meaning to call you jaded, you're empathetic to the people that are struggling, but like your life is not bad. Even though you probably get hated on and this and that, in a way, I think that you've achieved a lot of people's dreams at such a young age. Is that fair? I'm sure you want more for yourself, but haven't you achieved more than 99% of your peers?
Yeah, but I've had so many ups and downs. There's been so many obstacles. For anyone to say that's easy is like...
No, I'm not calling it easy.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just, to people who think that, it's like... Yeah. If you've seen my career, I've had to face so many obstacles, so many hurdles. So I had to work for everything. Nothing was handed to me, and so like I don't really have empathy for lazy pieces of shit. Like it just, you know, like I know what I have to do look at me every single day.
Bringing a camera, people don't realize how hard that is, how awkward it may be to do an interview, come here, you don't know me.
I went to bed at 5 a.m. last night. I did a vlog all day. Then I edited for another 5 hours. Then immediately I started a stream for 5 hours. Went to bed at 5 a.m., woke up at 10, took meetings all morning. Then I went to film, then I'm here, and I'm gonna do the same thing today. Like you're saying like, okay, you're successful, but you have to maintain it. You have to continue to, and especially the position I'm in, it's banned everywhere. It's not like I'm just handed to me. I have to work 5 times harder than everybody else in my space.
No, that is true, that you do have to work harder because you're limited. You can't just go on Twitch. But like, I mean, when it comes to content creators, and you don't do this, but like Milo, he's come after me, he goes after people.
I didn't know he went after you.
Well, and him and I really had no beef. He came on my show, he said some stuff about Laura Loomer, and I tweeted that I didn't agree with it, and he just came after me. But honestly, him and I are going to be at the Grifties.
Laura Loomer started tweeting at the FBI saying that I was a terrorist, and
no, she did not.
She did. And when I had a Rumble deal, she was tweeting at the CEO saying that I should make
Chris,
any money. Yeah, he was tweeting it to us like, how are you going to let this Islamist? And then tweeted, trying to put me on a watch list. You know, it's just the government.
You're going to do the next 9/11, dude. You're going to October 6th.
It's just, does anyone believe that? Like,
I don't know.
Anyone, but yeah, that's her. But yeah, Milo I get along with.
But my point is, Milo and these people, they fight. Yeah, I really don't even dislike Milo. He just got mad at me. I'm striking him in the fences with him. My point is, though, these people are very toxic online, for lack of a better word. They have to attack people.
That's a fair.
I'm saying Laura's attacking you. That's what she does, and she's getting clicks. Because there's people that like you, but there's people that hate you. So then, by her attacking you, your fans support you. Her fans support her. So it creates a war.
You know, it gets people going. Yeah.
And so, what do you think about that type of content where people are constantly? Because I don't like to do that. I did that with AOC. She's my big booty Latina, but you know what I mean? I don't mind doing it with the AOC, with somebody like that, a politician.
A possible future president, you know.
She is definitely going to be, she's definitely going to be the nominee.
I mean, who else is going to, Democrat Party, who else they got?
It's going to be her. Or that Jasmine Crockett, and she's a crackhead, and she's our rep in Dallas. Dude, and I love black women, but she's ghetto as hell, dude. She's extra, I don't know how to explain it. She's extra feisty because a lot of the black women that get into politics, they want to act respectable. You know what I mean? They want to try to act like.
They want to be Michelle 2.0.
Exactly. Yeah. They want to be like Michelle, but she's not like that. She's kind of has.
She leans into
that she's urban and black, which I don't hate. I like that, but I'm just saying she doesn't pull punches.
She's Jasmine the Stallion.
Jasmine the Stallion. She's twerking at her ceremony.
Right. I mean, Kamala was hiring black rappers to twerk on stage at a rally. So, I mean, this is the next step, huh?
What do you think about abortion? I went to Kamala's rally, and
not a fan.
I know, but every marketing campaign was reproductive rights. Why do so many people think this abortion is just no big deal?
That it's no big deal?
I mean, that it's women's health.
And it's not only that, they celebrate
it.
I was here in New York 3 years ago where they had a Yell Your Abortion protest, and then girls were all protesting.
Oh, is that the one where the famous actress did it?
Amber Rose?
Amber's kind of famous, but is the other one?
She did the slow walk, and now she's a MAGA.
Who's the girl in White Chicks that said the N-word? Busy Phillips. She supposed to went up there at one of these things. She went up there and talked about how her abortion saved her life, and if she didn't get an abortion.
So it's not even just they used to be ashamed of it. It used to be something no one. It's kind of murder, so some people do it, some people don't.
It was a secret. You wouldn't tell anybody.
You'd be shush about it, about the graveyard in your stomach, and now they just celebrate it. It's an empowering thing to do. So that's the real. And also because they can't really. They say that Trump's going to take away reproductive rights, and they can't really think of anything. So it's the one thing that they can latch on. It's the one disagreement the right and left have that gets everyone going.
And it really does, and it's just meant to split us up. So and I've watched your content, that obviously it's a uniparty. The people that say they're conservative sometimes want to screw us more. So
Of course.
I mean, I think the worst person is Dan Crenshaw. He's conservative, but dude, he sucks. I've had a lot of heat. When it comes to politicians, you were joking about AOC. AOC might be a nut job, but at least I think
she's vocal about Palestine, isn't she?
Well, she is a little bit, but I'm saying she is. She is kind of part of the squad. But I feel like she's more genuine than a lot of these other.
I believe her.
I believe her.
I don't think she's phony. Now sometimes she's phony. No.
She did
a speech in the Bronx, And she's like, okay, Bronx. Yeah, and then the snaps came out.
It was totally fake.
The hoop earrings were there.
But I feel like she's doing that with the right intentions. She's doing that because she wants to.
That's how liberals are.
Yeah.
If you talk to them, they're all like that. We point out how that's phony, but every liberal I've met code switches like that to blend in.
That's exactly what code switching is, but usually it's like a black guy trying to talk like a white guy, but this is a Mexican girl trying to talk more Mexican. Yeah. I mean, what kind of code is that? The extra Latina mode.
Yeah, the Bronx mode, but... I do believe, like, when she does the videos, you could see like the wires in her face turning. It's like Hillary never had that. Hillary, you could tell it's like someone else was controlling her. She looks like a puppet. AOC, I think that's her.
Do you think Hillary Clinton, like they always say the conspiracy, but you hear guys like Jimmy Savile.
What, Pizzagate?
Well, Pizzagate, yeah, basically. I mean, do you think that they actually are molesting kids? You saw those email leaks, a bunch of napkins, maps. I remember reading that in 2016. You were really young, or 2015.
I was there. I was reading. I was on 4chan.
You were like a little kid. But
I was on 4chan, and I got in trouble.
That was a while ago.
No, I was 8. I voted in 16.
Okay, yeah, so you're 18. But I'm saying that was like your high school age. You were in your teen still.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, like, do you think there's any credence to that? Because I hate to say this, but I do think Hillary Clinton probably worships Satan in this kind of weird, like in this kind of weird secret thing. Like she goes with Marina Abramovich and does this ritual. It's not like she's doing this every day or reading the Satanic Bible, but it's like something they do every once in a while in some sort of ceremonial thing. Whether they believe it's real or not, I do believe that she really does something weird.
I mean, I don't have tangible proof, but there's no doubt in my mind. There's really no doubt about it.
Is Michelle really a boy, or is that all?
That one, I think it's a funny meme. I don't think so, though.
Joan Rivers did say it.
A lot of people, Elon Musk's dads just said that.
I know. What is
last night?
Hey, did you see Elon Musk's dad said that Elon Musk was retarded when he was a kid? You
think he's just clout chasing?
I don't know, but the teacher said.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Joe Rogan's dad did the same thing. He did a podcast, started shitting on Joe Rogan. Like, why are you doing this? Like, your son's successful.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Joe's dad?
Yeah, Joe's dad.
Yeah,
Elon's
I
dad.
saw that. Yeah, I saw.
I don't like that stuff. Like, what are these fathers?
I agree, but there is this kind of weird thing where I'm really close with my dad, and like parents can be bad. But I lost my mom. That was so bad. But I guess my point is, I do feel like as kids we do kind of owe our parents something. Is that, you see what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you have to necessarily do whatever, when you're becoming Elon Musk, you have to do whatever your dad tells you to do. You're super powerful.
But also, your parents owe something to the kids. Like, you don't go on podcasts. You do. Your parents owe it to their children, not go on podcasts and shit talk their children.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that if there's a fair transaction.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm just in that situation. Like, my dad, he did an interview when I started to blow up, and he was just kind of being honest, and he didn't even really speak that unfavorable about it. He was just talking about how after my mom died, I changed, which is normal. I did. I changed. Damn. I got totally radicalized. And everybody took it like a shot at me. And it is the truth. It's the truth. But my dad wasn't saying that.
And he wasn't saying it in a malicious way?
He was not saying it in a malicious way. He was just saying it in this honest way, and it did change me. It changed whoever I am. Because now, whenever
why do people attack you for that?
Well, just in the thing, they're just saying like, oh, well, his dad says it. It's like the left-leaning people like, he's crazy. He went crazy after his mom died.
Oh, they're just using that as ammunition.
That's what he's saying. They're saying, oh, after his mom died, he went crazy. So, but my dad said that. He wasn't saying it in a malicious way.
That's different.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's hard with these parents. Like, well, I mean, I'll just tell you this much. When it comes to parents, like, what do you owe them? I do think you owe them a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I don't have kids, so I really kind of can only tell from the son's perspective that I owe my dad. You know what I mean?
I just like to. I keep my family on my mind all the time. So I mean, there's always ups and downs.
You have a Filipino mom though. That had to be tough. Did she beat your ass?
No. My mom didn't really hit me. More for my dad.
Okay, because he's Haitian. So you're like Kamala Harris, dude. You're like Haitian. Is she Haitian?
No, she's Indian, isn't she?
Indian or something. But I thought. I don't know, did you get mad when Trump accused Haitians of eating cats and dogs?
I did, but it was also funny. Like, because you know why I defended Haitians for doing that? Because there was no other, I know so many Haitian streamers. You know what's funny? Today, a lot of those Haitian streamers were, well, their communities, I'll say, their fans were calling me racist because I sent Aiden like a racist joke and Aiden posted it or whatever. Yeah. And so then the black fans are like, okay, why is he friends with Sneako? He's racist. And I'm like, wait, the streamer that you're a fan of didn't say anything when the whole Haiti cats and dogs thing. And I was the Haitian representative. I was getting attacks from all the right. I'm like, they don't eat cats and dogs. I was like standing at a podium. I've never seen a cat or dog in Haiti. Like, I was doing all this and I'm like, I would turn off the stream like, fuck, man, I can someone fucking back me up? Like,
you didn't have anybody to back you up?
No,
really?
nobody stepped in. No,
nobody else is Haitian that's famous, really.
Yeah, there are so many famous Haitians.
Well, famous streamers, I don't know any of
the famous streamers.
But they didn't have your back?
Well, they didn't really give a, like, I don't even think.
They didn't care that you
They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. They see like politics, stuff like that. They're like, they'll stay far away. And it's smart because like they should just play games and, scream, like do their thing, do their jokes and entertain. They stay far away from that. But I was dying on that. I was really on the hill. I would end the stream and then I'd talk to some Haitian people and they're like, actually, like, there's some cats and dogs in Haiti, like, I'm like, oh.
No! So they admit that they're eating, because they are!
Bro.
But not all of them are eating cats and dogs.
Not all of them. Not all
of them. But
I'm going to be, because I'm an honest guy, I'll tell you this conversation. I'm my cousin. My cousin's a black guy, lives in Haiti to this day. And he told me like, oh yeah, Haitian guys, when they get hungover, what they do is they roast cats and dogs. The cats specifically, they eat roasted cat and it like heals the hangover. I talked to my grandma and my grandma.
Sneako, you're fucking kidding right now. You're telling me the hangover cure in Haiti is barbecuing a cat.
That's what I heard from my
I rescue cats. I literally, I donate to cat charities.
I've never seen it and it's not a common thing.
But it sounds like it's a common thing. They're barbecuing damn cats.
But they didn't do it.
Too much Budweiser.
They didn't do it in America.
Oh my God.
The story, but here's where the story really happened. The story that went viral in America, where like some guy saw a woman doing it, that was all fraudulent.
That was fake, and she wasn't even
Haitian.
Yeah, she was American.
She was just a black. Yeah, she was just a black woman. It was Jasmine the Stallion. It was her. You can't blame Haiti for that.
Congresswoman Jasmine.
It was Congresswoman Jasmine, and so that's what it was about. But then, as I heard more about it. And that's what I was really defending. It wasn't the story was false and people just ran with it. But as I learned more, I'm like, oh shit.
That is so funny. But in China, dude, they have the Human Dog Meat Festival where like every year during the summer solstice, like they celebrate by eating dog because they say, like how they say there's health benefits for hangovers, that it helps them with their erection.
Cat?
Dog.
Oh, dog.
Dog. Yes, it is for. It helps them. They like to eat it during the summer solstice. But so different strokes for different folks. I'm not going to eat a dog. A lot of people call me a pussy, Sneako, because I'm a vegetarian. What do you think about that? You don't eat pork. Is that immoral?
I mean, pork, pigs don't sweat, so they like hold all the germs in their body. They're a disgusting animal. They eat their own feces.
You can also domesticate a pig to make it like basically like a dog or like.
So if you domesticate a pig, then I guess it's going to be less disgusting if you.
Well, no, I'm not saying to eat
there's less
domesticated
parasites.
Pig, but I'm saying
eat the dog pig and there's less parasites. But if you eat actual pig, it's really bad for you, and it's going to give you. There's like science that proves it. Aside from religion, nobody should eat pork. It's disgusting.
Bacon is delicious, though.
Turkey bacon's even better.
I know. Actually, I agree. Hey, I'm not even going to say.
I thought you're vegetarian.
I am, but
Grifter.
First of all, I don't eat meat, but I'm just saying I used to eat a ton of meat. Now I've stopped eating meat since before the pandemic. But I get called a soy boy. I get called a pussy. But I do it because going back to the Hillary stuff, like back in 2016, 2015, I was watching these documentaries, and I think it was Game Changers was one on Netflix that I really liked. But when you go to McDonald's and you get a hamburger, that has meat fragments from
I agree with
1,000 cows. But it's low vibrational because when the cows die, they see their other friends die, so you're getting their adrenalized blood.
Have you heard what I'm about to say yet?
No.
Do you know that in Islam that's haram food because you're not supposed to kill animals like that? So we only kill animals the halal way, which is they have to be raised in a proper way and they have to be you have to bleed them out. So you just slit their throat and then they bleed out. So the adrenochrome isn't in their blood. So your adrenaline, like that whole thing, does not affect.
So it's higher vibrational. Yeah, it doesn't bring you down.
There you go. It literally solves that problem. Like Islam solves that problem.
That does, and there is a reason why that's like a thing. That is a reason why it's halal or that. I mean, that's
all McDonald's is haram food. A lot of people think it's just pork, but we can't eat animals that are raised in that environment or electrocuted that way. And not even just for religious reasons, but think about it. If it's electrocuted in that state, the anxiety is going to be in the food, and then you eat it, and then you feel all depressed, and now you're on Adderall and antidepressants, and now you're fat and you're 70.
Yeah, you're right. What do you think about all these kids taking SSRIs and committing suicide and having gender dysphoria? I mean, we talked about it a little bit.
That's fine. I went to a school full of these people. So I grew up I was born in New York City, a couple blocks from here, 30 blocks from here. But I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut.
But in Manhattan, you grew up in Manhattan?
Yeah, I was born on 14th Street. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
On this Ave, almost, yeah.
Wow.
And then I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut. And it's that people call it gun wave in New Haven. It's a bad place. So I got a scholarship for this high school in New Hampshire. It's closed now. It was 120 people. And the only people that went there, because I didn't have good grades enough to get into Exeter, like the school Zuckerberg went into, like the preppy schools. I got into the shitty preppy schools. So the only people that went there were Chinese international students and kids who were depressed and on SSRIs.
But you still had to get into it. Like you still had to apply.
You still had to apply.
So like you weren't a total bum.
I was the DEI hire. Okay. I was the diversity kid that they would put on the website.
Haitian Filipino kid.
Exactly. I'm on the website. I tick 7 boxes and they're good, right? But the rest of the kids were like rich white kids who were depressed, porn addicts, all this stuff, drug addicts. who were on pills and all this, and they would send them to this school. So it was packed. It was me and SSRI kids. And so that they would all go to
Prozac, all whacked out.
Prozac. It was like they would take a cocktail of medication every day. They were like 14, 15. Every day I saw this happen. Adderall, SSRIs, Xanax, all of them, every day. They would go to therapy, they would try this, they would change their medication. And I saw what it did to these people, and guess what? They were still depressed.
Yeah.
And they were still always unhappy. Their parents didn't like. There was always external. If you talk to them for 5 minutes, you're like, oh yeah, this is why you're depressed. It's not because you have a chemical imbalance. It's just your life is unhappy. So, but they didn't like to work that out. They would like to blame it on on interior forces. Like they caught
brain chemistry.
They caught it from the sky. Like how do you catch that? Like there's no ADHD in China. There's none of these problems in China. That's why they're going to win in 2027. We inevitably go to war with them. But this is a real problem.
What do you think about vaccines? Do vaccines cause autism?
I'm unvaccinated, and my kids are going to be unvaccinated.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I took the polio. I took whatever.
But that's everybody.
That stuff. Did you take the COVID jab or not?
No. What? Are you kidding, dude? Are you kidding, dude? Dr. Fauci. I was out there saying, Dr. Fauci, give me that ouchie. I used to always joke about it.
Yes.
But no.
Wait, can I ask you a personal question?
Of course.
Did your girlfriend get the vaccine?
No. Are you kidding? I wouldn't smash that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't mRNA pussy. It's just like it's
dude. It's dry.
No
You
good.
can't. No, dude. If you get in there, it's like quicksand, man. You're never getting out.
Yeah.
Sneako, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the women? Because my girlfriend, I'm a pimp on a blimp, and I love my girlfriend.
Let's go.
But you get the girls in your DMs, this and that. Are you just smashing and passing? Are you what do you do? What is your love? What is your love like? Because I know I've seen it. You've had a lot of famous relationships, but what makes you happy? Would you rather be in a monogamous relationship, or would you rather kind of be out playing the game?
I've been thinking about this a lot now that your friend Ashley got nutted in by Elon Musk, and it's like when you get to a certain level, it's how much time can you really spend? I don't know if I have all that time to spend.
Well, I have to take my girlfriend everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that. If I was doing that, no, I used to sometimes, but it gets distracting. And
dude, there's that video of that girl running after you. I don't even say her name. That's funny. That video. We're gonna edit that in. That's the funniest video. You sprint, and the girl's like, "Sneako!"
Oh fuck, let's go. The bitch is here. The bitch is here.
So you have an effect on these women. You used to be a model, like you obviously have lots of women.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think?
Dude, that was one of the freakiest moments about like that. Hearing that shrill was like, it sounded like a witch. Like actually sounded like a demon swooping through the winds to try to catch me.
That video is so funny, and she's being serious. She's just like,
what's funny?
Sneako!
I haven't told the story, but afterwards I'm like, I was with my security guard, and I'm like, okay, I don't.
And where is this TwitchCon?
TwitchCon.
Yeah, okay.
And everything went fine, because you would have thought TwitchCon I would have been assaulted. I went there scot-free. I'm leaving, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Someone's telling me like this whatever's following me. And so I'm like, all right, let's get out of here, because my security guard punches her, then he's gonna go to jail. Like I don't want to deal with this. I don't, especially not.
She's crazy too. She's being crazy. She like wants to get the cops.
I don't want to. I want I don't want the cops. I don't want to clip. I don't want to interact. I want to separate. And so I'm like, I go to the garage, and I'm like calling. I run into the garage. Because like, what's
you're sprinting?
What would you do?
You're fast. I don't know, because you're like off camera. That's what you're going. Like you could just see like the back of your feet.
I was black DNA.
Yeah.
What would you have done in that scenario?
If a girl was really chasing me at TwitchCon, yeah, I'd get an Uber maybe or run away.
You have to call the Uber, like in that.
Yeah, I know. In that little area.
In that moment.
You would have to run away. And I've been in situations where I have to like sneak away, not full speed like that. But I haven't had girls chasing like that either. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people laugh. I don't know, how to handle. There's no playbook for how to handle that. I think I did the right thing.
I think so.
I think
that's a conflict. You're not trying to have any sort of confrontation. Like that is the right. You're trying to. That's what I try to preach to people, that when we have conflict, we should run away from it. I know it sounds like a coward, but like if there's serious something.
No, I think you should. I don't think you should.
Not all of it, but if you're in a bad situation, I think it's better to run away than like confront somebody. At least a stranger. What do you think?
I mean, if it was a dude, then like there's sometimes where confrontation is necessary.
Yes, I agree.
But like if there's a threat, you should pose you should. It's like when you're scared of the basement, you have to walk in the basement.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Yeah. I just don't want an interaction. Like it wasn't out of fear. Like I don't think anyone thinks, but it's just like I don't. It's different than a threat. But yeah, I was like in the garage. I'm calling my security guard. I'm like, I'm on level 5. I'm on level 5. My camera's like looking over the ledge, trying to peek over. Like, it felt like James Bond. We're like ducking. I swear to God, we're in a parking garage, and we're both like standing behind a car, peeking over like there's an enemy at the bay. Like,
Yeah, because she has her camera. She's like live streaming, so you know she's trying to.
I just don't want to be on a clip. Like
Yeah,
I don't want. So I'm just like bobbing and weaving here. Sigurda's like wondering where he is. Like, go to level 3. We're meeting together. It was like a Born Identity mission. We got out of there. When he gets in the car, he peels off. Like the car's still moving when I get in. That was quite a time. Twitch.
That was a great.
And now I'm banned on Twitch for off-platform behavior.
It's so stupid. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not even trying to kiss your ass. You would be huge, and you already are big. But I'm saying you would be as. What would you consider Aiden Ross? Is Aiden Ross the biggest?
Yeah.
I'm saying, but independent, not even though he streams on Twitch. But is he
No, Kick right now. He's still banned on Twitch.
Oh, he's still banned on. So he's only on Kick.
It's been about 2 years.
I thought he was back on Twitch.
Almost. He's hopefully getting unbanned in 2 weeks if Twitch is consistent.
What do you think about these guys? I watch all these content.
You mentioned Mr. Beast. You know, I talk. My fans make a joke about it. I used to work with him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and he used to be a fan of me beforehand. Which was it's like a funny dichotomy. Do I think I'd be at their level? No. I was never I remember having this realization when I worked with Mr. Beast. He was much bigger at the time. And
did he just take himself more serious than you though? Because honestly, you're much more entertaining than Mr. Beast, dude. I mean,
well, I mean, because I kind of relate more to the he was talking about Legion of Skanks, like the stand-up comedian crowd, like kind of like the
edgy. You want to be a little more edgy.
You know, like the alcoholic guy in a basement making racist jokes and like that type of. That's
not kid content of how to survive living inside of a grocery store for 30 days.
Exactly. Like they were jumping into a pool full of Orbeez, and I'm like, this is not like we're making a Lego car, and I'm like, I'm in my 20s, like I can't. This is not me, and it's just a different type of content or entertainment. You know, I didn't get onto YouTube to throw balls at each other. I wanted to talk and be real. I was like, talking about
those are the best memes of you as a little kid on YouTube. You know,
you seen those?
Yeah, they're the best. We're gonna edit them in now, but it's like you talking about something serious. So it's funny. You've always wanted to talk about stuff. You've always wanted to be vocal.
Yeah, so that's always what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So and I'm doing it now. I think everything happens for a reason, and the position I'm in is exactly where I wanted to be in. And
now you're back in New York, though. You were in Miami. Miami's terrible. I mean,
you think so? I feel like you would like Miami.
No, I do it. I love Florida. But I'm just saying. I feel like New York is even more realer. It's grimier, but I like to go to protests and stuff. You know, I just had a pretty big video where I said protect all big booty Latinas at a nice protest. But I'm saying I like to be at these damn protests, and New York's the best for that. There's always something
every
going
day.
on here. Yeah.
The other day when Louis Theroux came.
That's so cool that you're on his documentary and you're like, you don't even know
he tried to do a gotcha the whole time. He's like,
oh, that's what I'm saying. See, that's okay.
He's such a British atheist.
There was something he was trying to get you on, dude. That's why he talks about the Korean. He does everything in this kind of sarcastic British.
He's good, but he didn't get me. He didn't get me. He tried to, but I've been doing this too long.
Edit, but as an editor, he can edit.
And you know why? What's annoying? I didn't film it, and I should have. I feel like
you didn't get it. Oh. You filmed me, but not Louis Theroux, dude.
I got nothing. He's no footage.
Technically the BBC's biggest documentarian. You know, he's been doing it for a long time, and he was always making good stuff. But now he's considered
I didn't even get a picture. I got zero footage.
He's it's
all in his hands. He's kind of like the what?
He's kind of like Piers Morgan, but of documentarian. He's like at the BBC. I mean, he told you he works for the BBC, right? See, I don't know. Sometimes he does documentaries independent, or for to be released in theaters. It's not all BBC, but that's where he got his. That's where he started. And he's very funny, and he does these weird things. Where
we started debating at the end, and he's gonna edit it out because
that's what he does.
I killed him.
Well, he confronts the kind of people, or he'll bring up what they're doing, at the end. Yeah. So he did that with you.
How do you know? That's exactly what he did.
I've watched 10 of his documentaries.
Whoa, that's exactly what his style was. At the end, he's
he acts like he's your friend, and he kind of laughs, and he's good. Yeah,
to a T. And then at the end, we're debating about a transgender. There was, Gorlock the Destroyer.
Yes, of course.
His name is
Steve
Ali.
will do it. Had sex with her, right?
I hope not.
Yeah, but he kissed her though.
I hope not. And
then, I love Steve. That was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
hope that was a joke.
I hope that was a joke. Anyway, he brings that up, and I'm like, yeah, that's a dude. That's always going to be a guy. Mm-hmm. And then he's just he's just standing quiet. He's just standing next to me, and we're standing. And I'm like, because we've been filming for 3 hours. He's just standing next to me. I'm like, are we done? He's like, am I platforming hateful content? I'm like, I don't know.
Because you said Gorlock the Destroyer is a boy.
That's a man. It's always going to be a man. That's not going to change. I'm not going to change my opinion off of that. He's like, but you hurt her feelings. I'm like, well, because I said the truth. That's a dude. And he's like, he's just quiet. He had nothing. And so in that moment, I'm like, oh, this is going to be edited for sure.
Yeah, but that's the thing is it's hard to defend. You can defend a gay person easier because people have gay family members, this and that, they're gay. But like trans people that we have to live in their delusion are.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
It's just,
Did you see there was a clip? I was with all these celebrities and they tried to get me to apologize to Gorlock. I was there with all these like big streamers and football players, and they're like, "You need to." I'm like, "For what? Like, what did I do?" And then Gorlock's Ali, my bad. Ali's like, "You said you were," and it was funny because the first time we met, it was with Neon, me and Aiden. Neon was saying like. It's all documented, so I'm not throwing my friend under the bus. But Neon was saying like, I'm gonna like rape your grandmother, I'm gonna kill you, you're terrible, I'm gonna throw you in a gas chamber. They reconciled and started doing so much content together.
Yeah, Neon and they were streaming all the time.
But what I said was something that was unforgivable.
That she's a man.
The truth.
Dude, and it's funny because what you said is less bad than Neon, and now they're besties. And I mean, do you really need, like, aren't we giving her artificial clout just because they're so freaking repugnant and ugly, though? Like, I feel like when we
I mean,
write
he's gotta
this,
know that.
I know, but I'm saying in the end, and no offense, Gorlock the Destroyer, Sneako is going to still be making content when you have diabetes and your legs fall off. You know, so it's just, I mean, if you're playing the long game, is this rude to say? Is that bad? I mean, don't you think Gorlock should take better? I need to lose some weight, but Gorlock really needs to lose some weight.
How much you weigh?
I'm 230 right now, but I need to lose like 20.
Are you tall? Like,
I'm 6'4".
Yeah, you're taller than me. I thought
Sneako, you're tall too. I didn't realize. I knew you were tall, but I didn't realize you're that tall.
I'm a fake 6'3". I'm 6'3" until I stand next to you. And then I'm like, okay, you're like barely over the edge.
No, I'm 6'4". But okay, Sneako, we got to wrap things up. But before we go, I just kind of want to ask you, like, your daily vlogs have been incredible. Everybody needs to go watch. How do you get these things out so fast? Because what Casey Neistat, Dylan was just telling me, went crazy trying to do this for like 200 days. Have you gone crazy yet?
I think he did more. I think he did like 700.
Or whatever. How many?
2.5 years.
Yeah, he did.
2.5 years is what he said. Yeah, but so he did. I mean, are you trying to go for that Casey Neistat?
I'm nearing on 100 days straight. I'm at 79. 79. I started Thanksgiving of 24. And no, I love it so far. I've found a good balance. You know, the difference is that he was doing the same video every day. Yeah. It was this like daily vlog, but I have different styles. Like I could do a commentary, I could do like a fun party vlog, or like at a concert, or, you know.
Dude, you go to it all. You go to political events, to streamer events.
I go to Ye's Grammy. I can do, you know, I have a diversity of options. Yeah. So I'm good. I'm already thinking about how tonight's going to go. Actually, this podcast ties into my video perfectly because it's about how, what do you think is a better title? Racist humor brings us, like something, it's about how racist humor brings us together.
Well, you're exactly right though. It's like racial stereotypes are so funny. We should embrace them. We should own it. Like the fact that black people are always 15 minutes late. We should just own it.
I was 30.
Well, exactly what I'm saying, but that's cool. And then now we know that you're going to be 15 minutes late. We got your back. I'm just saying these stereotypes, they're not meant to be evil. We should like celebrate them and
own it.
Not own it and not be ashamed or hate each other.
We should love our differences.
I agree 100%. That's what makes us human beings and special. Okay, last thing. We talked about 9/11 was an inside job perpetrated by people within our own government. We talked about, is moon landing fake or real?
What do you think?
Fake as shit.
Fake?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Stanley Kubrick, or is that?
I mean, I don't know how they did it, but in 1969, they didn't even have email.
Why have we gone back?
Exactly right. And we went and toured the Johnson Space Center. The new Artemis is it's like.
We're having a 4K footage. I want to.
And they didn't even show the live feed. They just actually had the cameras from the TV stations filming the video.
It does look like a set.
It looks like a set. And Gus Grissom, he was the actual original guy that's supposed to be Neil Armstrong. He hung a lemon on the lunar lander and said this will never land on the moon. And then he died during a test launch. It wasn't even a real launch. It was just a launch where they go and they put on their seatbelt and they talk to him and they go through the countdown. They put too much oxygen and a wire sparked it. And he got cooked like an oven. I mean, worse than an oven. He got burned alive. And his family, he told his family that if he died during any of this stuff, he was killed because he was so outspoken about it. So look up Gus Grissom.
And also Armstrong, doesn't he? He's like old and senile.
Yeah, dude. And
he admits that it's fake now, right?
Well, he just said he's passed away, but he said
he died.
In one of his last speeches at the White House, he said that it is the youth's job to like uncover,
the truth.
The truth. Guys, Sneako just got moon pilled. So what do you think? Fake, real?
Moon landing's fake.
Yes!
Bullshit.
Guys, thank you for watching. Everybody, I know you guys probably already follow Sneako, but I just want to say thank you, brother. It was good.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
We broke monkey bread.
I want to eat that more.
Eat more. It's delicious, and I'll have some too. All right, guys. Love you. Please like, subscribe, share it. Go watch Sneako's daily vlogs on X. Some of the best content in the world. Peace.
Thanks a lot.
Good night.